Welcome to episode 17 of the Deficient Vegans podcast. I'm the Muscle Deficient Vegan here with the Protein Deficient Vegan. You want to say hi?
Hi.
Hi. So today we're going to talk about different types of exercise you can do. So this is going to be pretty basic. If you're trying to just get into doing some kind of workout, some kind of fitness, and you might not know which avenue to take. There's a lot of different ways you can exercise. So we're going to talk about some of those. First up, we're going to talk about flexibility. This is something that a lot of people have an issue with, especially if you haven't been moving around lately. And it's pretty low impact, easy to get into. Flexibility is basically just stretching out your muscles, getting them to where they can get into different positions and you feel a little more
limber.
The technical definition of flexibility is the ability to temporarily elongate a muscle. So you can bend your arm a little more.
You can touch your toes.
You can touch your toes, stuff like that. Having extra flexibility can also help you avoid injuries in some cases. There's some debate around exactly how much it helps you, but it doesn't seem to hurt. You can do stretches kind of around other workouts if you're combining that with something else, or you can do stretches on its own in a standalone workout. If you're doing stretches with some other workout like strength training, you don't really want to do what we call static stretches, which is where you just like bend your leg and hold it for 30 seconds, something like that. You don't want to do that necessarily before the workout because you can lose a little bit of your strength for that workout in particular. But you can do what are called dynamic stretches, which is more where you kind of swing your arm. You may have seen people grab a resistance band in the gym and kind of, move their arm back and forth while they do stretches. You can do that and it doesn't have that same issue.
Have you ever done P90X?
I've seen P90X. I haven't tried it.
They have really cool dynamic stretches that I've always liked. Like they do the hug yourself.
Yeah.
I really like the hug yourself one. And then they also have one where you like stir the soup.
Oh, yeah. So I did do that. Stir the soup stretch with you. That was pretty cool.
The stir the soup stretch is very underrated.
Yes. There's a common muscle cramp you can get in your upper back if you're doing weightlifting. And there's a couple of different ways to stretch it out. But that stir the soup where you basically just, lean over and wave your arm around a little bit, that helps a lot with that particular cramp.
Yeah. And it kind of like stretches out your legs too because you're bending forward.
Yeah. A little hamstring stretch.
Plus, it's fun. And then Tony Horton will be like, what soup are you stirring?
Yeah.
And then he shames you if you say something like bisque because he's like, no, we don't eat butter.
I've seen you do a couple of P90Xs. They look pretty cool. So
they are pretty
some
cool.
Of the stretching work.
I really like. Do they have what?
Stretching specific work?
They do have a stretching specific. I think it's like 60 minutes actually, just all stretching.
Wow.
I don't know. I've always liked P90X. I know it's like 20 something years old now, but like, man, it was good. It's still good.
From what I've seen, the way they structure the workouts is actually pretty solid.
Yeah.
So no complaints, really.
I'm a big fan.
You can also do yoga. That's the one people probably think of the most when they think of, flexibility.
Mm-hmm.
Really been around for a very long time and pretty effective. So you can do like a beginner yoga routine until you get more comfortable with it.
Or you can do that wrestling guy. What is that guy?
Oh, yeah. The DDP. Diamond Dallas Page has a yoga. It's called DDP yoga.
Yeah, I didn't like that because he doesn't use the right names for stuff.
Yeah, well, I don't know the right names for stuff.
So I know it doesn't bother you.
I liked it quite a bit. I need to do that one more, but I did like that.
Yeah.
You can also check out, there's something called starting stretching. So there's an old weightlifting routine called starting strength, and somebody made starting stretching to kind of go along with it. And it's just a handful of stretches you could do kind of over and over, do them once a day maybe. Get a little extra flexibility.
Yeah, and you can find a bunch on YouTube also.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, there's tons of stretching routines out there.
And then I personally inherited all of my mom's like early 2000, late 90s VHS tapes.
Yeah.
And I've got a couple yoga ones that are really excellent. They've got that like majestic, woodsy music vibe. Oh, Denise Austin had this really good 20-minute power yoga video, which I think was the first one I ever did.
Yeah.
I liked it. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, yoga hasn't really changed, so I'm sure they're just as effective as they ever were.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you want to get into something that's low impact, kind of easy to start, but can be really hard. Like if you don't find a beginner routine, I would recommend doing some just flexibility to get into the groove of things.
Yeah. Don't go pro yoga first, or you're not going to be able to walk.
No, and if you think yoga or flexibility is not something that's really sophisticated enough for you to do, I recommend you just try some yoga. It's probably going to be pretty difficult.
Dude, it's hard. Even from like a cardio perspective, some of that stuff's pretty hard.
Yeah.
And
definitely.
Strength, too. A lot of that stuff has some strength built in.
Yeah, for some of the poses, you have to be able to manipulate your own body weight pretty well. So
yeah, like they got some different planks and stuff.
Yeah, but there are definitely beginner routines that don't require a lot of that.
Yeah.
You can work your way up. Cool. Next up is mobility. It's kind of similar to flexibility, but mobility is the ability to move through a full range of motion under load. So mobility adds the aspect of like a weight, basically, to kind of a sort of like a stretching routine. Also under mobility is something like foam rolling. So you may have seen people have a little foam cylinder type thing and get on the ground and roll body parts around on it. So that's something called foam rolling is the kind of casual term. I think it's technically called self-myofascial release.
Wow.
Yeah. Which basically is just a way to get some blood moving to a certain part of your body and certain muscles.
I don't know if I just don't know how to do that right, but that always hurts.
It's supposed to hurt. So you're probably doing it right.
Okay.
Yeah. And usually if you get to the part that hurts, you want to roll that part out a little more.
Oh, you just keep going.
Yeah. Yeah. It's pretty brutal.
Okay, but you just always keep going because...
No.
Okay.
No. Disclaimer. No, don't go until it like really hurts, right? But yeah, if it's a little tender, you might try rolling it out a little more and see how that feels.
Okay, I guess tangentially, is that how you say that?
Tangentially.
Tangentially, I bought this thing off of Shark Tank, as you do.
Yeah.
And it was like this acupuncture back thing.
Yeah.
Because I had this like part of my back that was hurting. So I was like, it hurts really bad when I poke it. So I'm just going to keep poking it until it stops hurting.
No.
That was a bad idea. I could not lay down for like 3 days.
That sounds like a bad idea. So I wouldn't recommend going that way.
It kind of felt good at the time though. So,
Yeah.
We got to weigh those things out.
Right.
It hurts so good.
Yeah. So the foam rolling has been shown in studies to be able to improve your range of motion. So maybe if you've got some exercises or even something functional you're doing, like you want to do squats, you want to squat lower, you have some kind of like, maybe you're doing rowing and you can't quite bend to the spots you need. Anything like that where your range of motion personally is limited. Split squats. Yeah, something like that. You can work on that with foam rolling before you do your exercises. It doesn't make you any stronger, but increasing the range of motion, and it also help increase your stability. So, a little less chance of getting hurt, a little more, you just kind of a solid feel as you do the exercise.
Better form.
Yeah, better form. So definitely something to try. And then for like a mobility routine, you can do something like Pilates, which is kind of similar to yoga, but it involves some dumbbells and a little bit of weight.
Yeah. And along those lines, you could do the P90X 90-minute yoga video, which is like insane. And they do about like 45 minutes of sun salutations. So
yeah, at that point, everything's strength training, right? If you're doing it for 45 minutes in a row. And yeah, even professional athletes, a lot of NFL players will do Pilates to try to make sure they have full range of motion to go out there on the field and do everything they need to do, and they're not limited that way. Next up is any kind of like resistance training or strength training. So this is typically something like weightlifting, right? If you go out there with dumbbells, barbells, you're in the gym, your machines, stuff like that.
Or resistance bands.
Resistance bands, yeah. But you can also do resistance training with just your body weight.
Pull-ups.
Yeah, pull-ups, push-ups, crunches, things like that.
Mm-hmm. Lunges. Those will burn your legs out if you do 40 back and forth ones.
Oh, absolutely. Air squats too. So, I mean, you can make a whole routine if you're on a budget or you just don't want to have a bunch of equipment in the house. You don't want to go to the gym. You can make a routine you can do for probably years on just your body weight and be really effective and make a lot of progress.
Yeah.
It's a little harder. It's not optimal because you can't like add 5 pounds every time necessarily. I mean, if you get something like a weighted vest, but then you're not really doing body weight.
Or a child. Or
yeah. Somebody to sit on your back. Right? Yeah. So it's not quite optimal, but I mean, you would just do more and do more sets, do more reps. And you can definitely get a good routine with just your body weight. So any kind of just general resistance, strength training, this is the typical thing you think about probably when you think about exercise in the gym. Another way you can get into exercise is with cardio or endurance type exercise. So endurance just means being able to go for a long time. So I think probably the standard example of this is people like go for a long run or go for a long bike ride. Running can be a little hard on your joints, but some people still really enjoy it, and it is great exercise for your heart. So if that's something you like to do, you can just go out and start running. Even walking can be cardio. I mean, if you do it long enough and you do it at kind of a fast pace.
Or if you take little baby dumbbells.
Yeah.
Or those like walking sticks. We bought those. We haven't fully figured out how to use those properly. What are they? The
Nordic walking sticks.
The Nordic walking sticks. Yeah. still not sure how to use those. If anyone has tips, let us know.
Yeah, we watched a couple of videos. We didn't really try it outside, but we tried walking around the basement for a while. It seemed pretty cool, and it was definitely harder than just walking.
Yeah.
So you could also do power walking, walking with a weighted vest, anything like that in the walking category. And then in kind of the more than walking category, we got running, cycling, rowing on a rowing machine, swimming, a lot of different things like that.
I love a row machine.
Yeah, the row machines are good, and they're actually like probably one of the... Well, a rowing machine is really good for a warm-up before an exercise because it's kind of full body. You're using your legs and your back and your arms.
And mobility, too.
And mobility because it's a pretty big range of motion you got to go through. So rowing machines all around are just really nice. And they don't take up a whole lot of space. They're kind of long, but they're not very wide.
I think you can hang them on a wall, too.
Yeah, most of them you can pack up against the wall if you want to keep one in your house. Every gym will have one.
And the one we have, it has this little fish game you can play where you're this little fish trying to avoid getting eaten by shark, but then you eat these other little fishies.
Oh, yeah.
Which is kind of sad, but also you get points. It's digital, so it's okay.
Also, a really good form of cardio that you pretty much only see in a gym. I don't think anybody has these at home. And maybe you haven't even used because they're kind of old school, is a Stairmaster.
Ew.
Yeah. Exactly. But
although, you know that there are a couple Bowflex ones that have the illusion of being an elliptical, but they're really just like an angry elliptical Stairmaster child.
Yeah, that Bowflex thing's kind of crazy.
Fuck, I hate that thing.
Yeah, that's more of a HIIT type thing, high intensity interval training.
Yeah, it's like do it for 15 minutes and you'll live forever or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I would count it as Stairmaster adjacent though.
And that's actually a whole other category of cardio is HIIT training. There's one called Tabata, and there's a couple of other protocols for it, but basically it's some form of like go really hard for a minute, rest for 20 seconds, go really hard for a minute, rest for 20 seconds. And you can change that, timer kind of however you want. Yeah. But the idea is go real hard, ease off, and then do that a few cycles. And the workouts are a lot shorter, usually 10 to 20 minutes. But the benefits are just as good as doing like an hour on a treadmill or an elliptical as kind of like a traditional long steady state cardio. Is people typically do that for 45 minutes to an hour. But if you do HIIT, you can get kind of the same benefits in 10 to 20 minutes.
Yeah, and you can do that on a bike.
Yep.
Battle ropes are pretty good for that.
Battle ropes are good for cardio. Yeah, for sure.
And for just like HIIT, like for circuits or whatever.
Yeah, and they're real fun. Also, another one that's kind of non-traditional, there's a lot of video games now where you can do exercise.
Oh my God. I love Beat Saber.
Yeah, Beat Saber, a VR game.
Yeah, you have to like go hard though.
Yeah.
You can't just like move your wrists.
Right.
You have to be like fully immersed for it to count.
Yeah.
Oh, and then they have this one on the Switch.
Mm-hmm.
Is it Ring Fit?
Yeah, something like that.
They have like a Pilates circle thing. What are the arm ones?
Oh, I don't know.
It's like shaped like a circle and you push it in. I don't remember what it's called.
Okay.
Anyways, it's something they use in Pilates.
Yeah.
But you use that and it also has like I think leg cuffs.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Because you like fake run while you're playing it. Anyways, that's a fun game.
It's kind of like that old Wii Sports. I don't know if you ever played that. Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay. My brother was playing Wii tennis at his friend's house.
Yeah.
And his friend's mom walked behind him and my brother accidentally backhanded her in the eye.
Oh my God.
I don't remember if she fell over or not, but it was like, I think he almost gave her a black eye. It was like a whole thing.
Yeah.
So anyways, if you're going to play video game sports and stuff, like, make sure no one's around you.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely have some spatial awareness. The VR helps with that because it gives you a little zone to be in, but people can still walk into that. You gotta be careful.
Oh, another good one. Did you ever play Switch boxing? I really like that.
Yeah,
that's a
cool.
really fun one.
Yeah. So there's a lot of video game type stuff you can do for cardio if you want to do it that way. And then last but not least for kind of cardio, endurance, and also fun is like some recreational sports, or if you happen to be on like an organized real team, that's good too.
So bowling.
Bowling. I don't know. I think you have to do that thing where you like dance between your bowls.
Your bowls.
What do they call it when you throw the ball?
Throws?
Rounds?
A throw?
Anyway, if there are any bowlers out there, help me with some terminology.
What do they call that?
Gotta be round, right?
Turns?
Turns?
I don't know.
Anyway, throws. And then the last one kind of just combines all of that stuff together into what they call a circuit or kind of combination training. So a circuit is essentially, typically the way it's traditionally set up is there are stations in a room where you do different things, right? So think like 5 different spots in the room. One of them has like some kind of strength machine. One of them has just like a jump rope laying there. One of
Battle rope.
Battle ropes, yeah. One of them just
Push the sled.
Push the sled, yeah. Maybe just one, there's nothing there and you just do push-ups, stuff like that. So you kind of go around the room doing these different things. And so you can find your own, first of all. Also, if you go to something like a Planet Fitness, they usually have a room that's set up just for this with like a timer on the wall and all the different stations set up in order. And you just kind of go around as the timer runs down. So those are pretty cool. But also there are some places that are kind of dedicated to this type of exercise. So one of them is Orange Theory. This is basically a circuit where you go back and forth between strength training and like using the treadmill.
I thought it was like the row machine, treadmill, and the bike.
Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah. And I think there's also like some bench press or there's something with dumbbells in there too.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And another big one that you could probably consider circuit training, although they might get mad at me if I simplify it like that, is CrossFit. So CrossFit is like huge. You probably heard of it.
Don't piss off the CrossFit people.
No, I got all the respect in the world for CrossFit.
They can jump high on boxes.
Oh, yeah.
I could never.
Oh, I know.
It's insane.
Yeah, so CrossFit's a great option. Basically, you just do a bunch of different things. They mix cardio, they go on runs, they do lifting, Olympic-style lifting.
They're so hardcore.
Yeah, they're real hardcore. And something else you want to ease into, but most of those places have great coaches and they'll ease you into it. So CrossFit has been something that a lot of people have used to get into fitness right off the bat. So it's got a little bit of everything. You can kind of learn what you like. Probably a pretty good option.
It's true. So if you were building a program for someone who was just starting, like what things would you include?
Yeah.
How often would you do them?
Yeah, I think I'd probably start for like just the first couple of weeks, just do a little cardio to get used to moving and being out of breath and sweating a little bit. So maybe you do cardio like 3 days a week for the first 2 weeks just to get kind of used to it. And then maybe you could delve into using some machines. I think trying to find like a Planet Fitness near you with the circuit room is probably a really good intro to that because you'll try different machines, you'll have different muscle groups. And you'll kind of get used to what you like, what you don't like, what kind of stuff you really enjoy doing and pushing. And then
as someone who used to only do free weights, I really like the machines because I feel like you can't hurt yourself as easily.
Yeah, it's a lot harder to hurt yourself, and also it kind of forces you to do it the right way.
Yeah.
To a certain extent. I mean, you can still kind of not do it right, but like it's on rails. So you push and that's the muscle that you're supposed to use. And for the most part, you're engaging what you should be. So it's a good intro. After you do that for a little while and you kind of get used to the lay of the land and just all the different muscles, then you'd probably want to go into something like, a real, program. There's a bunch of different beginner programs you can do. And it really depends on kind of what exercises you like to do and what's going to keep you going to the gym. So do you like lifting weights? Do you like just doing cardio? Do you like using dumbbells or machines or barbells? And so you can kind of go from there and build a program around the type of stuff that you're actually likely to stick to doing.
So where does mobility and flexibility factor into all that? Yeah,
mobility and flexibility are something that you would probably try to do a little bit of every day, like maybe get up in the morning. That starting stretch one is one I was talking about, or if you do some kind of yoga, you just do those first thing in the morning, maybe every day. They're pretty.
Man, I like it at night. It makes me all mellow.
Yeah, again, whatever is most consistent for you and what you'll actually do is good. But and then mobility, you can kind of combine that with your workouts. Just do some mobility before and maybe after whatever you have time for.
Stretching. Do stretching.
Yeah, I would try to do some sort of flexibility or mobility probably every day if you can. Just spend 10 minutes on it, do a little bit of something. Well, that's pretty much all the information about basic exercises you can use to get into starting some sort of fitness program. Saw a couple cool things in the news this week around vegan fitness. So the U.S. Open, tennis, if you watch that, I haven't ever actually watched tennis, but it always seems pretty cool.
I've watched tennis.
Really? I've seen clips. I've seen a lot of clips of tennis matches that look pretty cool, but I've never actually watched a whole match.
I went in person in Cincinnati once.
Oh, that's really cool.
It was cool. I didn't know what was going on, though.
Yeah. I'm still not sure how they score tennis, but
I don't know. I just remember they say love.
Yeah.
And I don't remember what that means.
I think that means a tie. I'm probably wrong on that.
It might be right.
I used to play racquetball in the gym sometimes. It's pretty similar to tennis, right?
Yeah. And I used to play badminton, which I think pretty much identical to tennis, really.
Definitely is hard. So
Probably harder, honestly.
you can probably be playing in the U.S. Open since you played badminton.
Yeah, I know. I'd crush them.
So yeah, the U.S. Open starts August 26th, and the news is that they have committed to serve more plant-based foods than before.
That's
I guess
exciting.
there was a demand for that, so they have decided they're going to do more plant-based foods, kind of like the Olympics did.
Do you think that's like in part because Serena Williams is vegan?
Yeah, I assume she has a lot of influence there, so she probably had at least something to do with it. I would guess. I don't know that for sure, but I'm sure that probably leads to demand. If she has some fans that are vegan and they want to see more vegan food,
Yeah.
I could see that having an influence. Also, one more, vegan powerlifter named Daniel Austin was in a powerlifting competition in Nevada this year. It was some form of nationals. I'm not exactly sure which federation, but it was some powerlifting nationals in Nevada. And he broke 3 of the state powerlifting records as a vegan.
That is awesome.
Yeah. And that was a drug-tested league. I did see that. So he's natural.
A natty?
Yeah.
That's neat.
Okay, moving on from that. We had a couple of new recipes we made this week that will be showing up on the site at some point. You made a really cool pizza. You want to tell us about that a little bit?
Oh, so our parents, who we visited last weekend, was it last weekend?
It was recently.
I don't remember. Anyways, they're awesome and they have gardens. And basically, we were super lazy this year and didn't grow gardens. So they graciously blessed us with a bounty of vegetables, which was awesome. So we haven't used many of the things yet, but I have ideas. What we did use is the tomatoes. And if you haven't made homemade pizza sauce, you really should.
Oh, yeah, that was super.
It makes pizza so much better. We've been on this pizza kick where it's like, we're going to do Saturdays for pizza, and we're calling them Zatterdays.
Yeah, because some people call pizza za.
Yeah, because we're really creative like that.
Yeah, also very hip.
Yeah, we're very... Anyways, making homemade pizza sauce is super easy too. You basically just dump in tomatoes into a glass container or whatever, and then I used garlic because I put garlic in everything. So like some raw garlic and tomatoes, and then drizzle a little olive oil, and I use balsamic vinegar too. And then you just like cook them in the oven for like 45 minutes to an hour. And then once they've like blistered and popped open and stuff, then you just blend them. Magic pizza sauce.
Yeah. It was really good. And then we had like pizza sauce out of a jar for something else the next day, and it was really disappointing. So now we're just spoiled on this homemade pizza sauce.
Yeah, I think probably we won't do jar pizza sauce anymore because it's really easy. I think it's probably even cheaper.
Yeah.
And then we did make cashew stretchy mozzarella, which is really cool.
Yeah.
You can basically just take cashews, blend them with water and some seasoning, and then either you use tapioca starch, which I thought I had, but apparently I did not. So instead we used a combination of potato starch and arrowroot starch, and it still turned out really good.
Yeah, that was really good. It was like the big fluffy piles of cheese like on the margarita pizzas.
Yeah, kind of, it's similar to like fresh mozzarella.
Yeah.
Really good.
Yeah.
Definitely we'll be making that again. It's really easy to make too. And actually I've liked it better than any of the like store-bought cheeses, vegan cheeses that we've bought. I like it even because Miyokos was my top one, the liquid Miyokos. But I think like homemade cashew, whatever, cheese goop is actually better than that. Yeah, really appealing. I'm great at naming things.
And you made a fake kind of chicken stand-in from seitan?
Yeah. So if you use like, because normal seitan is made with like just water and wheat gluten.
Right.
Or, vegetable stock and wheat gluten. If instead of just all water, if you were to half your water and throw in silken tofu for the remainder of it, the texture you get is like, to me, similar to chicken, although I don't really remember chicken, but you've had chicken within the last 3 years, so you said it was close.
Yeah, it was pretty close to what I remember.
I think it gives it a really good texture, and then you can just add in some seasoning, but it's really easy to make. You just steam it for like 15 to 20 minutes, and then you have like chicken patty things.
Yeah, we used it in some quesadillas, and it was super good.
Yeah, and like a harvest bowl.
Yeah, the harvest bowl was really good too. Yeah, with the tahini sauce on top.
Tahini and maple syrup. And a splash of apple cider vinegar.
Oh, right. Yeah, that was a good bowl. Hopefully that makes it up on the website too. That was pretty good.
Yeah, I've been lazy lately. If you guys haven't noticed me put recipes up lately, I've been very tired.
All right. Well, guys, that's all we had for this week. Do you want to say bye?
Bye.
Bye, everybody.